Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Geographical Eye. Today in this session, we'll discuss about the definition of geography in the terms of set theory that was given by Peter Haggett in his book Locational Analysis in Human Geography. Before starting the explanation of this theory, let's quickly discuss the biography of Sir Peter Haggett. So Peter Haggett was born on January 24, 1933 in Somerset in England. He studied in Cambridge University throughout his 1950s. He graduated in bachelor's and master's and he did 2 doctorates, that is PhD and DSc. After completing his higher education, his studies were centered around urban and regional geography. He gave many mathematical models, theories related to urban as well as regional geography. But subsequently after 1968, he became interested in disease geography or medical geography. Currently, Sir Peter Haggett holds the position of Emeritus Professor of Urban and Regional Geography in the prestigious University of Bristol. His most important works are Locational Analysis in Human Geography, that is in 1965, Geography, a Modern Synthesis in 1972, and The Geographical Structure of Epidemics in 2000. Apart from these books, there are several number of books, research papers and articles to his name, and its contribution in the field of geography, especially urban and regional geography and disease geography, is immense. Now let's see how does Peter Haggett defines geography in terms of mathematical terms or in terms of set theory. So as we know, geography is an interdisciplinary subject and is linked to various other sciences, that is natural science, physical science and social sciences. Many of the other geographers have also attempted to define geography previously, but this particular definition given by Sir Peter Haggett is purely based on the mathematical way. He uses the most important set theory of mathematics to describe the definition and the nature of geography. He presented this theory or the set theory in his book Locational Analysis in Human Geography, and as told earlier, this is a totally mathematical way of defining geography using the set theory. The motive behind this theory was to integrate at least some of the alternative geographical schools. So as we know, geography has many other sub-disciplines like cartography, quantitative methods, geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, population studies, agricultural geography, urban geography, regional planning. So the aim of Peter Haggett was to integrate some of these disciplines, some of these alternative disciplines, all the alternative geographical schools, and using this integration, he wants to define the nature of geography as well as we can say the scope of geography. So this is a unique presentation. It is a very good definition of geography that was given by Sir Peter Haggett. So now let's switch over to the theory. So while analyzing his theory, Haggett considered 3 sets in which geography has to be placed. He used Greek symbols alpha, beta and gamma. In alpha set, it was known as the earth science set. The beta set was known as the social science set and the gamma set was known as the geometrical set. So to describe the set theory, he took into account these 3 sets, that is alpha set, beta set and gamma sets. And in each of these sets, that is alpha, beta and gamma, there were few elements in it. And let's now discuss these elements and the further description of the theory. So now let's see the original sets. What were the original sets and what were the elements that were in the original sets? Firstly, the set 1, that is set alpha, belonged to the earth sciences. And set alpha consisted of 2 elements, that is number 1, that was geography, and number 2, that was geology. You have to remember these numbers and what these numbers represent, because all this theory and integration is about these numbers and these sets. Okay, so keep in mind these numbers, that 1 represents geography, 2 represents geology. So geography, according to Richard Hartshorne, is an accurate, orderly and rational description and interpretation of variable characters on the Earth's surface. So geography takes into account the physical aspects also and human aspects also. On the other hand, geology, that is 2, the number 2, geology. So geology is basically the study of structure of the earth, the rocks, etc. Moving on to the next set, that is set beta, that represents social science, where set beta consists of number 1 and number 3. So what these numbers represent? These numbers are representing the elements of these set. So number 1 here again is geography and number 3 is demography. So what is demography? Demography is the study of population. So now next set, that is set gamma, that represents geometrical sciences, which represents gamma is equals to 1, 4. So 1 again here is geography and the 4, that is element 4, is topology. And what basically topology is? Topology is a mathematical science that is used to describe the fundamental structure of a shape or object within a space. So these were the 3 original sets, that is set alpha, set beta and set gamma, and their respective elements. And you have to take into account, or you have to remember these elements of these sets, because we will use them in the further explanation. So now let's move on to the next part of the theory. This part depicts a two-set interaction, the sets that we have discussed earlier, that is set alpha, set beta and set gamma. So now we will study here the interaction between these sets. So here the box A represents the original sets of alpha, beta and gamma, and box B represents the two-set interaction between these sets. So in the first figure of box B, the representation is of the interaction between alpha and beta. So as we have studied earlier, alpha set represents geography and geology, and beta sets represents geography and demography. So if there is an interaction between the alpha set and the beta set, or in mathematical terms we'll say alpha intersection beta, intersection means the elements which are common in both the sets, that is the set A and set B. So alpha intersection beta will be represented by 1, 5, or the elements of alpha intersection beta are 1, 5. So 1 here is representing geography. That means geography is common between alpha set also and beta set also. This we have studied earlier also, that alpha set was representing geography and geology and beta set was representing demography and geography. So geography is the common subject or common element in both the sets. So when we intersect them, or when we do intersection of alpha and beta, we find geography in common and a new element arises, that is number 5. And number 5 set is human ecology. So now what human ecology is? Human ecology is the study of interaction between man and nature in different cultures. So here what the new set says, that alpha intersection beta is 1, 5, that is the things that are common in alpha and beta are geography and human ecology. Now the second part, alpha intersection gamma. Alpha set represents geography and geology, whereas gamma cell represents topology and geography. So when there is an interaction between alpha and gamma sets, or alpha intersection gamma, then it will result as 1, 6, 7. Here 1 again is geography, 6 number is geomorphology and 7 is cartography and surveying. So it's very important to notice that when we intersect geography, geology and topology, that is set alpha and set gamma, we will find 3 things or 3 elements common, that is geography, geomorphology and cartography and surveying. So what basically is geomorphology? Geomorphology is the study of physical features of the surface of the earth and their relation to its geological structure. So the intersection of alpha and gamma cells results in 1, 6 and 7, that is geography, geomorphology and cartography and surveying. And what cartography is? Cartography is the art of map making. So moving on to the next interaction, that is beta intersection gamma. Beta set was representing geography and demography and gamma set was representing geography and topology. So when we intersect them, or when we interact the beta set and gamma set, we find 2 things in common, that is 1 and 8. 1 again represents geography and 8, the most important, that is locational analysis. So this is what Peter Haggett wants to focus, that geography is also the study of locational analysis, and it is not surprising that his book was also named as Locational Analysis in Human Geography, because location is the pivot, that is the center of this subject and is most important aspect of this subject also. So this is the 2-set interaction between the 3 sets that were given, alpha set, beta set and gamma set. So the 3 original sets that were alpha, beta and gamma sets, when they have now interacted, they have given birth to 3 new sets, that is alpha intersection beta, beta intersection gamma and alpha intersection gamma. So now the next part of this theory deals about a 3-set interaction between these 3 new sets that were formed, that is alpha intersection beta, alpha intersection gamma and beta intersection gamma. And the final inference of this theory will be deduced from this 3-set interaction. So 3-set interaction basically deals with the 3 sets that have interacted earlier in the form of 2-set interaction, but now these 3 sets will interact themselves in a 3-set way. So as we have seen that when these 3 sets were interacting, there was one thing in common, that was geography. So in this figure also it has been represented that when these sets of alpha, beta and gamma have interacted, there is one thing in common, that is geography, that is highlighted by the dark circle and the number is written 1. So what we can infer from this theory, this 3-set interaction? So after studying the relationships or the interaction between all these sets, we can conclude that geography occupies the central position at the intersection of all these sets, the set alpha, the set beta and set gamma. So geography is the result of the 3-set interaction between these disciplines that we have discussed earlier, and the 2-set interaction results in the development of geomorphology, human ecology, cartography and surveying and locational analysis. So this was all about what Peter Haggett was saying about a 3-set interaction, the 2-set interaction, the set theory, and he attempted to define geography in terms of totally mathematical way. Further, one thing is left, that is, there is one subset that has been originated in this the three set interaction, that is the regional science subset, that is shaded or that is highlighted with the slanting lines. So as we know, region is the most important and most fundamental concept of the study of geography subject, and far from the age of Strabo, who was first to declare geography as a choreographic science or the regional science, and till the time of Peter Haggett and till the time today, geography is studied as a regional science as well as a spatial science. So to Peter Haggett also, regional science is a very important aspect of geography, and in order to highlight this, he made a subset of regional science. Now, if we look into the figure, the regional science subset is a part of or is an intersection between set alpha, set beta and set gamma as well. But one thing strange you will find in this subset, that is this subset, that is a subset of regional science, is more the part of beta set, or it is more inclined towards beta set, or the most of the part of regional science subset lies in the beta set. Okay, regional science subset is the part of alpha set, gamma set also, but the most of the part of the regional science subset lies in the zone of beta set, and the beta set represents the social science set, or the elements of the beta set were geography and demography. And we know this well, that the demography or the population sciences or the human being is a very important aspect of this spatial science. Okay, so this was all about what Peter Haggett was saying about the two set, the three set interaction of this theory, and he attempted to define the theory of the definition of geography in the terms of set. Further, Peter Haggett concludes his explanation as he says that this is not the most appropriate definition of geography. Other definitions are also there which define the subject matter or the scope or the nature of geography in a very good way. But he specifically says that to describe geography as a study of the Earth's surface or man in relation to his environment or the science of distribution or aerial differentiation is to grasp only part of its real complexity. Geography can be defined not solely in terms of what it studies or of how it studies, but it is an intersection of the two. So he wants to point out that geography is the intersection or the commonalities that it studies between what, how. Okay, Carlos Sauer in 1952 called it a focused curiosity, which has created techniques, traditions and a literature of its own. So what does focused curiosity means? What did Sir wanted to say about focused curiosity? So focused curiosity, in simple words, you can understand that when someone is intellectually satisfied, or when someone has some knowledge and he is satisfied with his knowledge, but yet again he feels very much curious about the world that is surrounded by him. And this focused curiosity has been the part of this subject. Okay, so this was basically all about the set theory that was given by Peter Haggett. It is a very important and very much prevalent theory in university exam while writing the answers on the nature, scope, meaning and definition of geography, or what geography studies and what geography is all about. You can incorporate this diagram and this theory, and that will definitely gain you marks, as it is a very important theory given by a very important geographer, Peter Haggett, in his book Locational Analysis in Human Geography. Thank you for watching, and Jai Hind.